But if someone was like, I messaged you at 3:30 p.m. and it took you 45 minutes to get back to me, what were you doing?
That's a little bit interrogator. But so think again, maybe it is when they crush you. It is malicious that triggers you.
Yeah, like it is in a sense.
Whereas,
It's also like the idea of having to ask to take time off or like vacation or something like that, or the idea of, I don't know, just being treated like a child or a baby, right? Just
right.
just bothers me to no end.
Like I will take care of everything so you have to feel nothing. You
Hmm.
don't ever have to feel a consequence or, so I don't want you ever to feel like you don't have enough money for something, so I will pay for whatever. I don't want to
And you
at a
still do this?
family. Well, no, cuz my kids won't let me.
I was gonna say you haven't paid for anything of mine, so you're welcome to. I'd
Oh
love that. That'd
well.
be great.
Oh well.
I'll send you my Venmo. So let me ask you this. I'm curious what your take is on this type of person or potential vampire, which is like the person, and I've worked with a few of these people in the past and met a few, but like they're always going out of their way to handle everything, whether it's paying for something or connecting you with somebody or just trying to be the life of the party and introduce you to everybody and basically have their hands on everything so that they can
Hmm.
point to themselves and be like, it seems so they can point to themselves and be like, oh yeah, I was the catalyst to so and so. And I just feel like
Right.
trying to take care of all situations in front of them, whether
So
significant or
what's the
non-significant.
draining part of that for you? Like how do you know that's a vampire?
Because just all the time it's like I feel like it's just it doesn't feel genuine a lot of the times. It's like, yeah, it just feels more of like there's intention behind it, right? It's like a leverage play, it feels like.
Can you give me an example, like of something that's happened in your life that you kind of went, "Ugh, this doesn't feel good," even though it's supposed to feel, in theory, feel good?
Well, the thing that comes to mind is that there was two of these people that we were at lunch. There was a group of us, and two of the five or something at lunch were this person. They were like, I
Right,
pay for everything, I do everything, I take care of everybody all the time. And
right,
they didn't know each other. They were still kind of sniffing each other's butts. And
yeah.
as as everyone was ordering food, both of them volunteered and were like, "Hey, I got everything. Oh, let me get it. Let me get it." And then they were literally arguing in the restaurant, and it wasn't even friendly. It was like, "Let me
Right,
get it. Let me," like for like 5 minutes, and
right,
people
right,
were
right.
looking
Because
around. It was a scene, and nobody would relent. And I was like, "Hey, well, what are you guys doing? Just
right.
shut up." Like,
This
hey,
is great, yeah, because as you're describing that, two examples popped into my mind, and one was a fellow that this was a friendship level that a bunch of us went out for drinks, and he magnanimously, as he always did, said, "Oh, I'll take care of all the drinks. I'll buy all the drinks." And I knew that his financial situation did not allow for that. Like that was going to really cost him later,
right,
but he could not pay for the drinks.
right,
I also recently there was an example where we were, and this was a work example, but it was still kind of social. We were sitting in a restaurant, and something had happened to the staff, and they were late getting to work, and someone wanted a special order for something, and one of the other people was saying, "Oh, I'll go in the kitchen and talk to them. I'll get it for you." And she was going, I don't need help. I can wait till the staff gets. Well, no, I want to." And it was like,
yeah,
"I really want to do this for you. I really want to go and get." It's like, oh, I'm okay. I can take care of myself. Yeah,
right.
there's an energy around I need to take care of you because it feeds me. I feel like the big man on campus when I do that.
Yeah, and there's like it's like implicit that you're unable to do it yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Or I've had other people like in personal relationships where, yeah, they're kind of to your point, they're like trying to turn something into a bigger deal so that they can deal with it and be the savior. And I'm like, well, it's
Yeah.
not. I don't actually care about that. Well, like, we don't need to call and change this reservation. Like, we can just do this time. And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, and then they call the person, bulldoze them, hang up the phone, and are like, yeah, see, all you have to do is be firm with people to get what you want. I was like, I didn't even want that.
I
Like,
didn't want that, and I do you think I don't know that.
yeah,
So it's interesting you threw in savior. I have in my brain savior and like a lot of these things are kind of they join together, but I have savior and caretaker as two separate vampires.
yeah,
So for me, the difference as caretaker is, I mean, it pops to mind the person that takes care of the person that's heavily overweight in bed and they bring them their food, right?
hmm
It's another one that pops to mind is codependent to an addict,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's something in it. There's something where I need to take care of you to feel good about me. Meanwhile, what I'm doing is actually poison to you.
Right.
So that to me is caretaker. I have a tendency to be a caretaker. No surprise coming from a codependent background.
Caretaker to who? Like your like friends and family and people at work, or where does it manifest?
It used to manifest at work. No, not really as much at work. There was too much to do. It was too hard. But with my family, for sure, I
Mm.
will. My tendency is to want to make there be no consequences is harsh, but there should be no pain or hurt or any. Like I will take care of everything, so you have to feel nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
don't ever have to feel a consequence, or So I don't want you ever to feel like you don't have enough money for something. So I will pay for whatever I don't want to
And
at
you
a
still do this?
family. Well, no, because my kids won't let me.
I was gonna say you haven't paid for anything of mine, so you're welcome to. I'd
Oh
love that. That'd
well.
be great.
Oh well.
I'll send you my Venmo.
It tends to be just my kids, I'm afraid. Well, yeah.
Unfortunate
Um,
for me.
yeah. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, so I don't, my kids are very, very stable and healthy adults, and they don't take that.
Right.
So what I have come to now is that I can do that if I'm doing it with a clean slate, if I'm doing it with no wake. So if I'm doing it because it makes me happy to do it and I expect nothing out of it from anybody else, I'm allowed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Totally. And I was gonna call out that right. It's like I mean, everything's a spectrum. So it's like, yeah, doing something nice for somebody isn't a bad thing. Obviously, it's great. But when I think the point maybe of this stuff for me at least is to be like, why do I feel weird when this person did something nice to me? Something doesn't add up here.
Right.
And then it's
Right.
like, yeah, if you dig into that, it's probably because, yeah, there's something else going on.
There's something in it for them, and it's not your happiness. Well, it might be your happiness, but it's for them. So I actually want to put my hand up and go, I don't think this is based on intention, but I don't think it's a spectrum. This is an on-off switch. This feels really important to me. It's an on-off switch. Either you're in collaboration or you're in competition.
Okay.
Right?
So it's binary.
It's binary. It can have the same, like I can host a party and put out all the alcohol and all the food for the party and spend weeks and weeks and weeks setting it up. That the act of that doesn't indicate whether it is energy vampire behavior or collaboration, because I can either be doing it because this is my expression of myself, this is how I do creativity. I feel happy when I build a place for people to come and have a party where they feel welcome and enjoy themselves. Lots of people do that kind of stuff all the time, where they put out a spread, they do whatever, they try and make everybody feel comfortable, and they're doing it for the joy of it. That's not energy vampire. If I'm doing it because I want everybody to be impressed by how organized I am and how much I'm willing to share and my knowledge of food or whatever, if I want people to be impressed or to be grateful or to reciprocate, right? I'm doing this because I want someone to do this for me. Then
Mm-hmm.
that's energy vampire. So the whether it or not it's energy vampire is the intention. What do you want to get out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if something that you're getting out of it does not require contribution from other people, then it's not energy vampire.
Mm-hmm. That makes
But if
sense.
you've preconceived that I want you guys to feel a way or say a thing or
Yeah, consciously or subconsciously.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of the people that do it accidentally or like do it for other reasons other than just pure genuine reasons, I would argue that most of them don't know consciously or like or yeah, or
Oh, for sure.
it's not like a clear decision. It's just something that they've learned to they have that tool in their tool belt. And in business settings, I just see it as just like a leverage goodwill thing. It's like accumulating goodwill.
Yeah, there's a couple of different energies around it that I don't like. Like one of them, especially in a business setting. So one of them is insecurity. Sometimes I get the sense that people are picking up the tab or doing more than their share. More than their share is one of the signs, right? And I get the sense that it's because they feel insecure and they don't feel enough unless they do more than enough. They have to make sure they've done so much that there's no way that they couldn't be, they belong because they've contributed so much.
Yeah, it's undeniable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They've covered all the bases. Meanwhile, they're sucking the oxygen out of the room and not letting anybody else show up. Or the other one, and this is then it's not caretaking, but there is so clearly men sometimes come across as being very gentle and kind and helpful and whatever, and what they're being is dominating. Like they're like, particularly as a female, it's like, that I take care of you.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
take care of you
condescending.
because it's condescending and
Yeah.
it's really hard to say anything about because they're being nice, right?
That's part of why this is so tricky is because especially when someone's like a chronic person that you interface with all the time, that they're doing it all the time, you can't call them out and be like, you bought me lunch so many times.
You bastard.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
and it's a form of, in the instances where I've seen it where people are doing it for like further manipulation, like accumulating social capital or goodwill
Yep.
to
Yep.
deploy that later. It's typically people, in my experience, that live with they live in plausible deniability. Like plausible deniability is like their cloak. They do things that are plausibly deniable. There's no proof, but that's how they navigate.
There's a lot of the energy vampire behaviors are have plausible deniability. That's one of, yeah, for sure. That's one of the slippery, no matter what it is, no matter what kind of energy vampire, they will have a way out where they cannot get busted for what they're doing in theory.
Yeah, it's almost foolproof in a sense, as a way to manipulate, right? Like if
Right, exactly. This is why they last.
yeah.
And so that's also why saying anything doesn't work.
Hmm.
Trying to find a way to get through doesn't work, right? That plausible deniability is the cloak for all of it. And so the only thing to do is stop feeding.
I would like to say, as a reminder for myself, I always, because when we have these conversations, it feels like there's people out there that you got to avoid, and there's just bad people that do this. But this is like, as a reminder to myself, there's like, I do it sometimes, we all do it sometimes. Like people,
Yes.
this is just natural human behavior.
Yeah.
And yes,
And there's two different kinds, right? There's always the two kinds. One is it'll come and go,
yeah,
and we have favorites that we use. But then there are also chronic vampires that are just like this full time. The chronic vampires are the trickiest ones because for the others, you can find there are times when they're not vampires. Like for people that are in your life, typically, sometimes they are. And almost in contrast, you can go, that's not like them. Maybe they're tired. Maybe something's on their mind. It feels weird. So I don't think this is anything to be concerned about. With chronic vampires, because they're slippery, it's like, why can I not get a beat on that guy?
right.
Like, why is that bugging me so much? So I think it's the most important ones to identify are the chronic vampires.
That's happened to me a ton and still happens to me where I'm like, wait, is it just me? Like, is it
Yeah.
just me? Maybe it's me that's being whatever. Maybe there's something that I'm overreacting to here. Like, why does everyone else seem
Seem fine.
unbothered by
Yep.
this stuff? Or why am I getting so bothered by it? But
Yeah,
yeah, I think
and
three,
there's a tricky part to that too, right? It's another part of the tricky part is that you're going to be bothered by it if it's a vampire that triggers you. But
mhm,
not every vampire triggers every person. So you and I can be sitting in the same room and you can be like climbing out of your skin. You're so irritated. And I can be oblivious to there being anything wrong.
yeah,
And I'm not feeding that vampire. That's the difference, right? That person's not feeding off me because whatever it is that they're selling, it doesn't bug me.
yeah,
So they get nothing from me.
yeah. That makes sense. Good distinction. What the question I was going to ask you is, when people are chronic vampires, is it true? Do they cycle through all the vampires, or do they typically have one?
They typically have one. Maybe they have its opposite. So,
Hmm.
like a caretaker can be an addict. It can be the opposite, so victim of some sort. So I'm a caretaker and I'm caretaking and I'm trying and you're resisting and it's not working or whatever. Then I can flip to, well, never mind. Then I won't do anything. And in fact, as a defense, well, you stop it. You do everything. You don't let me do anything. Oh, fine. Then I just won't do anything at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The yin and the yang.
Yeah, there will be a dominant one, but that is the go-to. But they are in energy vampire of some sort all the time, and yes, it can cycle through to different ones sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And just for like baseline, you have come up with, there's like 16 of them, right?
That
Labels
I
that
Yeah,
you
that I've come
have,
up with.
right? So I'm just gonna say them
Yeah,
quickly, just for my own, for context setting and for kind of my own sake. So there's like, in alphabetical order, there's accommodator, apologizer, bulldozer, caretaker, which we're talking about, controller, deflector, drama queen, duplicator, interrogator, judge, martyr, rager, sad puppy, savior, victim, and withholder, which is
yeah,
16.
and
Yeah.
that isn't an exhaustive list. That's just the ones that over every time I've come across somebody, I've kind of gone, okay, well, what would they be then? What does this look like? And there's probably four major ones. Like there's the aggressive ones, they're the passive, the resistant or the passive ones. There's the interrogators where they're trying to reach in, and there's the withholders where they're trying to keep out. Does that make sense? So there's
Hmm.
aggressive and right.
Right.
And so there's four basic quadrants, but I find it more useful to be more specific about the subtle differences. Like recently I've come across a new kind of vampire that I had never, it's the first time I don't know if it's the first time I've encountered this kind of vampire, but it's the first time I have been able to identify this behavior as vampire behavior that I did not recognize.
Hmm.
And it was freaky to me. So I find it very helpful to, even though I could put it in the quadrant easily enough, I couldn't say exactly what this person was doing that was getting under my skin
Hmm.
until I went, oh, this is a vampire.
Remind me the quadrant, and also what's the example of this new one?
So the example of this new one is someone that there's the withholder, right? So the withholder is someone who, you're yelling at me, so I'm just going to go quiet. And
Hmm.
you can't get to me. You can't reach me as long as I am quiet. So you can ask me a question, but as long as I'm quiet, I cannot be hurt, which is very frustrating when you're not being a vampire and you're trying to have a communication with somebody and their fallback is to just go quiet.
Hmm.
Right. And sometimes it can look like they'll say something to you, but it isn't the truth. And then they'll go away and they haven't said what they really mean. So that's sort of the thing. What was different about this instance was this person was aggressively not saying,
Mm.
was consciously and aggressively. And it was even better if I was aware that something was known that this person wasn't saying. And then they didn't say it to me. Like it
It's
was
it's like an
right?
alpha withholder versus beta
Yeah.
withholder.
Yeah. Well, and I think if beta withholder is the one that I said first, then that
Yes.
is learned as a protection against aggressive people, right? Against interrogators, against people that are bearing down on you, then one of the things you can do is just stay very still and withhold. This felt more like Mean Girls, like it was learned in school to actually wound, to actually fight.
Hmm.
So it was the same sort of thing, but it was an aggressive form of it.
Yep, I see.
Yeah. And so that's just another kind. And so it's very helpful to me. And until I knew I could not flush this person from my system, I could not stop feeding until I knew what it was I was feeding
Hmm.
and where it was coming from in me.
That makes sense. And then the quadrant thing, remind me what those are?
So the basic quadrants are the dominating, bearing down on you,
Hmm.
and its opposite quadrant. The passive form is the victim, right? So how you protect yourself from someone who's bearing down on you is you become the victim and go, "Oh, wow, that hurts, that hurts." And then the other two are interrogator, which is different. It's not just aggressor. It's like, oh, my favorite. So Jamal, you walked your dog this morning?
Hmm.
Did you? Did you?
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, okay. What did you? Did you? What time did you do that?
I'm not telling you. Get out my business.
I don't. Why would you not tell me?
Cuz
You're not playing the game properly, Mister.
I walked my dog at 9 a.m. How about that?
Oh, at 9. Oh, at 9. Yeah, at 9. Yeah. I guess that was about the time I texted you to ask you a question that you didn't respond to. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like but you were walking your dog. So that's probably why you didn't answer.
I hate you right now. Is
Yeah.
my in this moment as you were playing a character.
I was trying to, my brain was already going to how many ants does he have? The worst out of how many. So the interrogator is someone who is asking what appear to be harmless questions, but to get at something, to dig in. And then the opposite of that is the withholder. I'm not answering your questions. I'm not going to tell you what time I walked my dog.
Yeah. So it's quadrant, it's like for my own words, not yours. It's like aggressive, submissive, withhold, antagonize ish.
Mhm.
No?
This one is
Walk me. Go top left, top right, bottom right.
aggressive, withholder, interrogator, victim. I'll look it up. It's because they are opposites, the aggressive and the victim,
Oh, I
and
see.
the interrogator and the withholder.
So it's if we go one, two, three, four, one and three are aggressive and submissive, and two and four are
Aggressive and submissive. So these ones are submissive. These ones are aggressive.
oh, I see.
I just can't at the moment remember what this sideways thing is.
I want a visual.
Yeah, I will get you one.
Yeah. You've come up with 16 labels that throughout your life that fit within that quadrant. And there's a lot of, they're all, gradients and some of them overlap pretty
Yeah,
heavily.
and they're subtle. Yeah. And I think some of them it depends on where they came from in your life. And sometimes the behavior will look the same for a number of different people, but their motivation behind it or what they're after is different,
Yep.
right? It's not always the same. They're not always the same. But if you can write it, honestly, the purpose of this is just to identify them, just to be able to go, oh, so the first way to identify a vampire is how you feel, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel crappy. I feel exhausted or a little bit like put out or a little bit like I didn't get any juice from that. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like somebody took all the juice.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff is the first thing, and then it's helpful to go, wait, what happened though? What was
Yeah.
in the room? Who was in the room?
Yeah, it reminds me actually of I told you about this when it happened, but it was a while ago. But I stayed at a friend of a friend's house for the weekend, and they were great hosts, but they were almost like too good of hosts, where they just did everything all the
Mm-hmm.
time,
Yep.
and like everything was fine. Like my my dog attacked their cats on multiple occasions, and he got loose and didn't attack them, but like it sounded very bad. Like he chased them and was screaming at them, and it was bad. And not only did they say it was not bad, they said, "Oh, this is actually good because it's training our cats." And I
Yeah.
was like, I felt badly, and I was like, no,
Right.
it's fine to be like, it's fine to not be happy with that situation. So I just came away from that feeling like, wait, everything on paper was great. They said all the right things. They gave, kept feeding us. They gave us the best food. They were super nice and kind the whole time, but it felt a little bit draining because I didn't
Yeah.
know where they stood on anything.
Right. You don't know where they stood, and you don't get to contribute.
Right.
They're doing everything. They're taking everything. They're taking all the stress. They're trying to. They're taking everything. Well, the whole point of collaboration is it's two people or more.
Right.
It's people together going back and forth. So a collaboration about the dog and the cats would have looked like, yeah, that freaked out my cats. That
Yeah.
was wild. Wasn't that wild? I wonder how we could do it differently or not. Just acknowledging that something happened.
Yeah.
And you get to say, I feel really badly. And they get to say, was scared for my cats.
Yeah.
So, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When you're in the presence of these people in your past that were caretakers, what did you do? Like, what was your part? Especially before you realized that they were caretakers, when you were just like just trying to navigate the situation.
Yeah, 80% of the time it was just like, okay, just let them do it. Like
Right.
it's not like I'm gonna argue or I feel like there's nothing to say there. I
Right.
can't say anything. I can't be like, stop being so nice. I can't be, or I didn't feel comfortable saying that. And then there were times where I would try to get ahead of it to pay, which again was like a huge mountain to climb to do it. And that in and of itself was really draining.
Hmm.
So then I kind of just like, I guess in hindsight, I just like tried to whatever, just not acknowledge it or not turn it into a bigger deal than it was and just kind of accept that that's how this person rolls. And it's, it's not
Right.
horrible. It's not like it's intolerable, but it's just kind of,
So
just
then, so
is
then
what
I
it
would
is.
say you don't have a trigger around that because it doesn't
No.
sound like your vampire came to the table, right? Because if you have a trigger, like, so they're not going to do that, especially with you, because they don't get anything from you. If you're not going, oh my God, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Or trying to fight them for the bill or doing something, if you're not interacting with them about it, then yeah, they're not going to do it all the time for you.
I would always say thank you. But yes, I would not get triggered by it. I have something that does trigger me, but it's a different vampire.